tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. Well, that's fine by me.
Yo, what's up everybody? How you doing today? So thank you very much for joining me. Today is July the 2nd. Just finished moving to Bodrum, as you can tell, to our new summer house, which is actually quite amazing. After 8 years in crypto, I can confidently say that this is one of the first times in my life where I'm actually reaping some of the benefits of the income that I've made from long-term investing and also day trading profits. And what I'd like to tell you is this, okay? That day trading, it's not easy. Like, it's definitely not easy. And if you're newer in the market, you've got to have really realistic expectations. The first year or two in the market, remember that you're competing against some very talented people, some very, very good professional traders out there. So it's a very competitive market. So the chances of you being extremely successful is probably not that high compared to somebody that's been very seasoned and has been in this game for a long time already. So set very realistic expectations. You've got to learn a lot about risk management, about emotional stability and how to deprive that when you're trading. And then one of the main reasons why people get liquidated from this game is basically because of their lack of risk management, and they just focus on things like, what strategies should I use to enter a trade, but they don't know how to exit when things get rough. A lot of people have made a tremendous amount of money in the market short term, but keeping it is actually a completely different story. So you've got to be able to keep those profits so you can grow them. You got to learn how to protect it. You got to learn how to preserve it so you can actually grow it into something big. So I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to be able to teach you. It's one of my biggest passions in life to make these types of videos so I can impart some sort of wisdom to you. And with my 8 years of experience in crypto, I think that I've gone through a lot of trials, lots of tribulations, lots of ups and downs, volatile market, just like my volatile life. And for those that have been sticking around from the very early days of when I used to be a troublemaker in bad relationships, doing just not really respectable things that a role model or a leader or somebody on Twitter should be doing, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for sticking around for such a long time. And it's because of your tremendous support that I'm able to be in this type of position today. So I'm extremely grateful for sticking around with me for so long, and eventually it set me straight. So I appreciate that very much. So to be very successful in crypto, in my opinion, you've got to really study, being able to learn a lot of different strategies while learning about risk management, learning about the psychology of trading. If you watch a lot of YouTube channels, they're mainly talking about just strategies. That's why my channel is very unique, and I have a very unique approach to talking about the psychology of trading, talking about the mindset of a winner and what it means to be a champion, talking about how past experiences will shape you into the trader that you could become one day, talking about how the mindset is by far one of the most important aspects to develop, talking about how relationships are going to affect your trading as well. The psychology of trading is one of the #1 reasons why people either fail or become successful in trading. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you enjoy my content, please do give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate if you liked it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do subscribe. So let's jump into this tactical analysis. I hope you guys enjoy my new trading setup here. This is a room that's pretty freaking awesome and I really enjoy being here. So let's take a look at what Bitcoin is doing. And if you have any issues with my new setup, or if you spot anything that needs changing, please let me know right away how the audio is, how the camera quality is. I would really like your feedback so I can improve the quality of the videos that I provide for you. So let's take a look at Bitcoin and see how the market has been trending thus far. So right now, what we're seeing is that Bitcoin is still at the exact same place as we saw it back in April. Right around here is when BlackRock filed for an ETF. So, but right now, it's not looking so good. When they first filed it, I believe it was like June the 14th when everything started to rally to the upside. Many people were incredibly optimistic about their success rate and of course their connections as well to the SEC. They don't typically file for an ETF unless there's a high confidence rate that they would get approved. But because of their inadequacy, that's how the SEC said that when they were filing for it to get approved, that's what they said. It was inadequate, so it doesn't look like they're going to get approved anytime soon. And because of that, the market ended up dropping a fairly substantial amount. But the crazy thing is that it bounced right back up to these same type of levels. So that's got to show the power of the resilience of Bitcoin, where it only recovered like 3%, but nevertheless, we saw a gigantic tank in the market. I believe it was it yesterday or 2 days ago? 2 days ago. So the market ended up falling about 5%, but every coin, for example, Bitcoin Cash, that did these tremendous rallies of like 300%, it ended up dropping a substantial amount. So Bitcoin's drop of like 6%, it can shake the market quite easily. So you've got to be very careful to make sure you observe both Bitcoin and also the coin that you're trading as well. So for example, on my monitor on the right, which you don't see, but if you saw in the video earlier, the monitor on the right always has a chart of Bitcoin up at all times. And I have this up because if I'm trading an altcoin, I want to be aware of the dangers in case Bitcoin starts moving. A lot of people will look at a coin and they'll be like, oh, this coin ended up dropping. Well, maybe it's not just because of that coin the reason it dropped. Maybe it's because Bitcoin also had a tremendous impact on that coin moving as well, because Bitcoin ended up dropping to the downside. So if we take a look at Bitcoin on the big picture right now, I'm going to keep this very short and sweet for you guys, to the point. Need to know, only tell you what you need to know, and that's it. So you see this gigantic trend line that's actually held since December, or basically the beginning of this year. And you see that we're forming a resistance. This resistance is highly unlikely to break. And the reason it's unlikely to break is because this resistance, it dates back to January of 2021, way back over here. So Bitcoin made a gigantic rally, and then Bitcoin fell down, literally 31%. So because of the drop, it makes a significant resistance. So if you take a look at this type of resistance, you wouldn't call it really a resistance because one, it's too short term, and two, the drop really was only like 11% or so. So you wouldn't call this place a relevant support now or a resistance back then really, right? So not the best. But if you see something rally a tremendous amount and then it drops by like 31%, and then for the months of May, June, and July, it ends up bouncing once, twice, and 3 times. So because of that, it's really likely to be a really strong resistance because it was formerly a strong support. So then you see that this period as well, it doesn't look like much, but that period in there was actually over 30 days. So it makes it a very relevant resistance. So the chances of us breaking this massive resistance that dates all the way back till January of 2021, it's not likely to break right now. Do you see where I mean? So right here is exactly where we are, basically taking the bodies of the candles and above that, and these sections over here, taking like an average of it, depending on the time frame. Of course, it's gonna look different, right? If you look on a 4-day, it looks different. If you look on a weekly, it's gonna look very different as well. So you can just see right around here, I would say the weekly is the best. 31K, super strong resistance, not likely to break the first time. So because of it not likely to break the first time, what's more likely to happen instead of breaking a 2-year resistance is basically over here. It's gonna come back down to about the $28,000 range. That's my guess. It's gonna come down to $28,000 range roughly. And once it comes back down, this is gonna be a really good place to possibly dollar cost average longer. Now, it may not necessarily hold. Don't get me wrong. Like, it might not hold in any way at all. It might just drop to the downside. But I'd rather take a chance and maybe dollar cost average here, a smaller amount. And then, of course, if it breaks to the upside and it makes an ascending triangle, see the ascending triangle, then I would buy on strength on the breakup as well. But the last thing I want to do is miss out an opportunity in case it bounces. And then, if it doesn't bounce, the good thing is I only bought a smaller amount. Then the chances of it dropping to the lower side is probably around here. I'd say around $25,000 again, because it bounced once over here in August, once over here in February, once over here in June. So 3 times it's bounced already. So if it doesn't hold here at 28K on that massive trend line that's held since January, just based on this basic technical analysis, I'm probably going to end up buying more on $25,000. And with this BlackRock ETF most likely getting denied, or actually it already did get denied. It's inadequate, $25,000, very reasonable place if it fell down below this massive trend line at 28K. So we're going to get many opportunities to buy Bitcoin at a cheaper price. And keep in mind that one day when these ETFs get approved, the first major one that partners up with like Coinbase, for example, it's going to be massive. It's going to be so huge. Institutional money is going to pour in the trillions overnight. Like, can you imagine how it's going to affect the price of Bitcoin? It's going to go like, you're just going to regret not having more Bitcoin, put it that way. And right now, there's a liquidity issue. It's a finite amount, as we all know. Bitcoin is a finite amount, and the halving is going to reduce the amount of Bitcoins released per block. So because of that, it's going to be ridiculous how little the supply will be. People are going to buy this. They're going to hold long term. They're going to lose access to some of their wallets. Some Bitcoins will be lost. It's going to be more scarce. There's a finite amount of this that will be distributed in the world, and that's it. So can you just imagine when institutions actually are able to invest in Bitcoin? The price of this is going to go up to $500,000, $1 million one day. Like, nobody would have guessed in 2016 that Bitcoin was going to reach $19,700. I've been right now in 2 major bull markets. Excuse me. I've been in through 2 major bear markets. The first bull market, I made more than $1 million. The second bull market in 2021, I made way more than $1 million. I survived 2018 bear market really like not unscathed, but I lost some money, but I still survived it. I survived it long enough to be successful in the 2019, 2020, 2021 bull market. And then I flourished in the 2022 bear market because I had experience from the first one already. So in my 8 years of experience, I've gone through the most volatile times in crypto history, and I've made a tremendous amount, in my opinion, like a lot to where I came from, because I started with $2,000. I've turned a lot of people into millionaires because of what I teach through my courses, what I can offer you in my lifetime Discord membership. So right now, guys, I actually brought about, I think, 15 books to Bodrum with me because I knew that people were still going to DM me for my lifetime Discord membership, for my ultimate bull market strategy guide, and the book that it's going to come with as well, and also for the online courses that you're going to get. That's 26 hours full of goodies that teaches you all of the strategies that I use and will be using for this bull market. So check this out, guys. This is my Discord group. It is fire, okay? I'm telling you, this Discord group is absolutely fire. I don't know how many people I have in it right now online, but probably around, I'm probably guessing about 400 or so. 102 lifetime members are online right now, and then also 56 normal monthly members. So we have an average of anywhere from 200 to 500 people online at a time, especially in a volatile market. That's where people are going to come in. There's many different channels for you to learn. There's the trade channel where I post all of my thoughts. There's short lessons, long lessons. It's a community of like-minded people. Just imagine if you're hanging around people who are unmotivated, poor people, people who are not inspired, people who don't want to do anything in life. You're probably going to be the average of them if you're around them enough. But imagine if you're like in a Discord group where people want to learn how to trade. Some of them are very successful already. Some of them are very wealthy millionaires. Some of them are trading really big sizes. But you're in a group with successful people or like-minded people that want to succeed. So the chances of you being successful is going to increase a lot as well. Not only that, back that up with my 26 hours trading course. It is so systematic, broken down from the beginning of what you need to learn and what you don't need to know. And it's so structured for beginners to advanced traders as well. And you get this awesome book that's mailed out to you. So I brought 15 packages with me. So I'm happy to sell them to you guys and get them out to you right away. There's been many happy people already that have gotten these. And if you guys haven't seen it, it comes in a cool package. It comes with a Team Philakone LED lamp, a custom-made bookmark, a certificate, a custom-made box. It's shipped out to you by DHL. You'll get it in 5 days. So DM me. Normally, it's $995 for this, so pretty expensive. But what I decided to do was I decided to give a discount because I've only got 15 right now. So make sure you DM me. It's normally $1,000. But DM me, I'm gonna give you a stupid crazy deal because I'm in a really good mood. Like the books to make it for that package and the shipping is actually $350 just by itself. So I'm gonna give you guys a really good deal. It's more than $350 of course, but you guys are gonna be happy with it. So DM me, I'll ship it out to you right away, especially if you guys wanna learn the strategy to use that can really help you be successful in this next bull market. So I've survived 2 bull markets, 2 bear markets, and this one right now is kind of an in-between market. So we're still gotta wait. Right now, this 2023 year, it's kind of equivalent to like early 2016, I would say, or early 2019-ish, or maybe early 2020. Definitely early 2020, I would say, where it's like we're just waiting around for this correction to be over, and then once it's over, the market's gonna eventually explode. So it's just a matter of getting through this BlackRock ETF. As the months go by, we're gonna see a massive surge going towards the Bitcoin halving. Just think of every halving that's happened so far, right? And think of the reasoning for the halving, where the block rewards are less. So because of the finite supply, that's being basically reduced to the public right now, or in terms of how it's being released to the public, it's like gold. It will become more rare, and because the supply is less, and because the demand is high, only the price can go up. It's just, that's business 101 or economics 101, right? So the Q4 leading to the halving, October, November, December, I can expect a major accumulation period, and I can only see the price going to the upside. And then January, February, March, April, it's probably gonna be crazy, the accumulation to the Bitcoin halving. Every time, 6 months before the halving, the price has gone absolutely bonkers. So if you don't have any Bitcoins, I recommend that you get some just for your peace of mind. Even if it's a small amount, get some, because you don't wanna be in a position where when Bitcoin goes up, you say to yourself, damn it, I don't have any. Imagine not having any Bitcoins. I know mother effers in Winnipeg who like would rather spend all their money going out to the bars and doing crappy things with their life than buy Bitcoin. Even though they have a friend like me that's been encouraging them to buy Bitcoin forever, but they don't buy Bitcoin. They just would rather spend it on like alcohol and drugs and partying. That's why I'm not friends with them anymore. And remember that the people you have in your life, they're so important to your success. So choose your friends extremely wisely, all right? Because for this Bitcoin bull market that's coming up, you're probably gonna make a fortune if you play your cards right, if you dollar cost average right, if your portfolio is the proper amount as well, you're gonna make a fortune. And your life is gonna change just drastically. A lot of people are gonna gravitate towards you because you're probably gonna be way more wealthy than them. It just naturally happens, just a circle of life. So trust me when I say you need to have some Bitcoins or even a fraction of it just to be able to say that you have some crypto, you have some Bitcoin when this market goes up. Because the last thing you want to say is, I have nothing. And you're going to kick yourself in the butt for not having something. Trust me. I've seen it time and time again where people are like, man, I wish I had some. And then you guys make sure you follow me. You hit that like, you hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. because I will be the guy that will tell you when this bull market is over and when I'm going to cash out my massive portfolio, because I've always been right with the timing, because I use chandelier exit indicators to time the exit, and that's what's going to help me not make the same mistakes that most people make. They ride it to the top and they make like hundreds of thousands or millions, then they don't take their profit, and then the bear market begins and they don't know how to identify the bull market finishing, and then they ride the bear market to near the bottom to like a horrible price because they didn't take their profit. So a lot of people, they ride it to the top but they don't take their profit, and then they get really angry and disappointed with themselves, with regret, because they didn't take their profit and now they're riding it back to a low price. So I will help you understand how to take your profits, and that's extremely important as well. So right now, to leave you with some parting notes for what I believe Bitcoin's going to do, it's going to hit $28,000. If it doesn't and we break out, bull market's probably going to begin if it breaks above like 31, 32K. But that's highly unlikely. So I just want to leave you with that. And if it doesn't bounce around 28K, probably going to hit 25K, which is an even better reason for you to start buying even more. And this is my beautiful portfolio, guys, by the way. 35% Bitcoin, 15% Ethereum, and the rest here are divided 50% between Sol, Avalanche, Cardano, Internet Protocol, Polygon, DOT, Near Protocol, HBAR, and Algorand, which is my favorite. I love Algorand. That's going to be gigantic one day in my opinion. So anyways, thank you very much for joining me. I hope to see a lot of you as my students. I've got 15 of these packages. DM me for a crazy deal that's way less than $1,000, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for all your love and your support. See you later. Have a great day, and bye now.